Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Michael Voris. Don't ask, don't tell, repealed. The U.S. Senate voted this weekend to repeal the don't ask, don't tell policy, barring open homosexuals from serving in the U.S. Armed Forces. Opponents of the repeal warned it will turn the military into a tool to impose a radical social agenda on the country. Obama characterized the vote as an historic step toward ending a policy that undermines our national security while violating the very ideals that our brave men and women in uniform risk their lives to defend, end quote. He gave no explanation as to how not having gays openly in the military threatens our national security, especially because our national security has been rather, secure for over 200 years without this policy in effect. Black president, now a gay one. A homosexual president is the next step in America's march towards civil rights, in the same vein as, quote, when we dealt with the race issue, former U.S. President Jimmy Carter has speculated. The former Democrat president shared his thoughts on the direction of his old office in an interview with the website Big Think. He said, quote, I don't know about the next election, but I think in the near future, referring to the possibility of a possible homosexual president. Despite his background as a Southern Baptist, Carter has established himself as a firm supporter of the homosexual agenda. In 2007, the former president urged the U.S. military to repeal the ban on homosexuals serving openly in the service. Canada boots Christian show off TV for homosexuality remarks. Word TV, a Christian TV show run by prominent evangelical pastor Charles McVety, has shut down temporarily after an industry watchdog ruled that it had discriminated against homosexuals because of what was said on a program. Outraged conservatives have called the ruling an act of censorship, while McVety himself has condemned the ruling, calling it, quote, a gross breach of democracy and reminiscent of totalitarian regimes of the past. McVety told LifeSite News that he was never contacted during the investigation process and that he has been told that there will be no opportunity to appeal. He says, quote, I'm being persecuted by a bureaucrat who thinks he has the power to convict someone of a breach of his standards without a trial, without a hearing from me, without any due process, and based on completely ridiculous grounds. Stay with us. Back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
CatholicUnderground.com, the podcast about our Catholic faith and new media.
Critics question claims of Catholics coming home. An article on EWTN's webpage is raising some eyebrows. It advances the claim that 200,000 lapsed Catholics have come back to the faith thanks solely to a series of TV ads produced by the Catholics Come Home operation. No substantial details are given to support the claim, and critics are wondering why the claim is being made at all. We've posted a link to one such blog post right over here. The concern is that millions of dollars are being spent by dioceses around the country for a product that may or may not be responsible for producing the effect it claims. And lastly, study. Primetime TV sexualizing younger girls. Television's portrayal of teen girls is becoming increasingly sexualized and places underage girls in physically sexual situations far more than adult women. This according to a new study by the Parents Television Council. The study measured the amount of implied nudity and or sexual gestures, such as sexual dancing, erotic kissing or touching, or implied sex that involved young girls on screen in the top 25 primetime shows for teen viewers in the 2009-2010 season. According to the report, quote, not only are we observing women becoming more frequently sexualized, the data show a troubling trend in which teen girls are becoming the prime target of the sexualized content. The report found that while older women were more likely to have sexual encounters, a younger girl was more likely portrayed in sexual behaviors on screen. Underage female characters are shown in sexual situations 47% of the time, while adult women were in a similar situation just 29% of the time. I'm Michael Vorse. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. Be sure and check out the Vortex today, where we discuss the bishops and gay soldiers. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tell your friends about us. And as always, God bless you.